Jump in the water with them and float. Hold their hand and float with them. That's the best place to start. I'm going to share with you 3 reasons that make praise from others as a PDAer so challenging. The first reason is because it creates a power imbalance. When we talk about PDAers needing to be in equity with people, places and things, rather than in a perceived power imbalance, it means that I don't want to be above people either. People often say, well, aren't PDAers grasping for control? No, we already feel like we're below or beneath others. And so in our quest to what others perceive as gain control, we're actually trying to restore balance. It doesn't mean that we don't like being down here. For me, it's also I don't want to be above others either. And when I'm praised, it has me feeling like I am placed on a pedestal or boosted above someone else. Even when it's based on skills, I have ways I manage to sit with the discomfort of accepting praise, in knowing it is meaningful to others to extend that praise to me as an expression of their gratitude. And I'm really grateful for that. The second reason that praise is so hard for me is because it usually preempts further expectations and demands. In a school setting, or where somebody identifies that I have a particular skill set or a talent or a gift in some area, throughout my life, my skills were often seen as something that could be commodified, that could be used to get something back out of it other than joy. As soon as that happens, it shuts down my ability to engage with that thing. My family knew I was different when I was younger and that I was musically inclined. I had a piano that my grandmother paid $5 for and I would play, but there was always this constant pressure to have lessons and to always be building my skill set and extension of where playing was going to take me. I was playing in pubs and clubs when I was a teenager, which I hated. I was paid for it. That made it harder, actually. Piano teacher rocking up every Monday night and I had never practiced because I couldn't, because the piano teacher was coming on Monday night. When people recognize that we have a skill or a talent that brings us joy, it's often taken and used to sometimes manipulate us into doing things as well. Early intervention for autistic kids, therapists have been trained and parents have been encouraged to use our interests to immerse us with development of skills in other areas. I'm a PDAer. I sniff an agenda from a mile away and it breaks down trust and security and safety instantly. If somebody takes something that brings me joy and commodifies it or tries to use it to entice me into some other area or to immerse me with the development of other skills or people or places or things, I'm going to know straight away, and it's dishonest. It feels dishonest. The third reason that praise is challenging for me to accept is because it sets up a foundation of people having expectations of who I am and how I will show up in the world. A very kind and caring person often will draw in people who have a deep-seated need to be nurtured or for their needs to be met. They may not always be conscious of this, but when other people praise me for personal qualities or skills, then there is this undertone set that there's an expectation that I will continue to deliver based on those personal qualities or skills. What follows if I say no, or I'm unable to perform or deliver in a way that is expected of me, is disapproval and disappointment that I am then left to carry as a form of rejection or abandonment, not because there's anything wrong or lacking with me, but because the people outside of me who developed the entitlement and the expectations will often make it seem as though it's about me. This can happen in a classroom with a teacher. It can happen in therapeutic relationships. How many times we've been told growing up that we've let ourselves down. You really could have made something out of those piano skills. You really let yourself down. I never wanted to become a professional pianist. That's just one example. I'm unpacking examples from my own life. Another example is in relationships with others, where people might say, you have a really great way of storytelling. It articulates concepts really clearly and makes it really accessible. That's something I'm told often. But then if somebody comes and says, hey, will you deliver a presentation and do it in the way where you tell stories, that sets up an expectation that presents a barrier because of my PDA neurobiology. It's not intuitive. It doesn't come from my want or my joy. It comes from an expectation from somebody else that I will deliver a product. I will provide or deliver an outcome. And that prevents me from being able to engage with what I've been asked to do. It's not a conscious decision. It's not me being defiant and saying, now that you've asked me to do that, I'm not doing it. I often want to be able to deliver, though I'm not able to, because I'm also unable to live in a world that expects from me what I don't offer intuitively or because I've chosen to. Those are just 3 of the ways that praise can impact me as a PDAer. And there are so many more reasons, but I just wanted to share those today to give a little bit of an insight around why praise can be tricky for people.